Water supply. A fresh, clean, plentiful water supply is taken for granted in many countries. Before it reaches your tap, water undergoes several types of treatment to make it fit for human consumption. How water is processed. Fresh water is drawn from a number of sources, including lakes, rivers, and underground aquifers, into reservoirs. In some regions lacking plentiful fresh water, desalination plants remove salt from seawater. Whatever the source, the water is purified to remove microorganisms, some of which can cause diseases. Purification also removes harmful chemicals and unwanted odors or tastes before the water is fit for consumption. The water is tested at each stage to monitor its quality. Water intake. In this first stage, water flows through a series of screens to filter out fish and other waterborne creatures and debris, such as grit, litter, and leaves, preventing them from entering the water treatment system. Coagulation. In the second phase, the water is mixed rapidly with a coagulant such as ammonium sulfate to help particles suspended in the water collide with each other and clump together. Flocculation. In the third phase, slowly turning paddles encourage clumped-together particles, called floc, to bind together in larger deposits. These deposits, along with sediment and some bacteria, settle at the bottom of the flocculation basin, while the cleaner water moves to the next stage for further processing. Fluoride is added to some public water supplies to help add minerals to tooth enamel lost during the process of tooth decay. However, critics claim that overexposure to fluoride in young children can cause pitting, which are small depressions or faults appearing in tooth enamel, along with tooth discoloration. Treating water. Wastewater from homes and other facilities flows from waste pipes and drains into public sewage pipes. It is transported to sewage treatment works, where it is screened to remove large objects and treated using several methods. These minimize the buildup of phosphorus and nitrogen and remove fats, solid waste particles, and harmful microorganisms. The process involves 7 key steps. Step 1. Primary treatment. Solids, such as human waste, settle at the bottom of clarifier tanks and are pumped away. A skimmer removes oil and scum from the surface. Step 2. Sludge treatment. Any water is extracted and pumped back to the clarifier. A slowly turning scraper in the sludge hopper moves solid waste to the base of the tank so it can be collected and dried. Step 3. Secondary treatment. Water is pumped into large rectangular tanks called aeration lanes. Air is pumped into the water to help bacteria thrive and either break down or release any further sludge that remains in the wastewater. Step 4. Tertiary treatment. This involves varied processes, including passing the water through a final settlement tank or beds of reeds to filter out more particles and waste. Some sewage plants also disinfect water using chemicals or ultraviolet light before it is returned to natural water sources. Water enters sedimentation tanks via a feed well and spends many hours here, allowing time for floc and finer suspended solids to sink and settle to the bottom. There, rotating scraper blades, known as rakes, remove the sediment for treatment elsewhere. Step 5. Filtration. Water flows slowly through layers of different materials, often hard coal, sand, and gravel, which help remove remaining particles. These 3 layers are cleaned by a process of backwashing, pumping clean water backward through the filters and out through a drain. Step 6. Chlorination. The filtered water passes into a tank, where it is disinfected with chlorine. Chlorine damages the cells of microorganisms responsible for many waterborne diseases, preventing them from reproducing. Step 7. Storage. Powerful pumps raise the height of the water, which is stored in elevated tanks or covered reservoirs. A pumping station transfers the water to distribution stations, where other pumps supply it to consumers at a constant flow rate. The final result is purified drinking water that is available to consumers. And that's the process. Here is a sobering fact. Did you know that there are 844 million people who lack access to clean drinking water? Water is truly one of the essential resources that many people take for granted. Hope you learned something new? Thanks for watching. Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone that you know. We'll see you in the next one.